Unlocking the Medicine Buddha Sutra, Beyond the Deathbed, Deliverance, and Spiritual Self-Cultivation.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's podcast. We often say that life is impermanent, but when that impermanence actually arrives, especially when facing critical illness, signs of impending death, or major life crises, what are we really supposed to do? Today, we are diving into a deeply moving and practical section of the Sutra of the Vows and Merits of the Medicine Master Lapis Lazuli Light Tathagata. In this passage, Bodhisattva Deliverance stepped forward to unveil a complete spiritual method for Venerable Nanda and for all sentient beings in this degenerate age. It is a guide to resolving life and death crises, extending longevity, relieving suffering, and ultimately uprooting all karmic obstacles. If you are currently in a deep valley of life, or wish to pray for the health and longevity of your loved ones, this episode will bring you tremendous confidence and positive energy. Part on the sign of death and the trial before King Yama. Right at the beginning, the scripture paints a strikingly vivid scene of life as final moments. When a person is terminally ill, emaciated from prolonged sickness, unable to eat, with parched lips, failing vision, and surrounded by weeping relatives, their spiritual consciousness has actually already been led by the messengers of King Yama to stand before the Lord of Death. In this commentary, a key concept is highlighted: the co-rising spirit. What is the co-rising spirit? Essentially, it represents all the karmic seeds recorded within our lineage now. Every single thought you have, whether good or evil, acts like a flawlessly precise automatic registration system, recording every deed down to the finest detail. When standing before King Yama and his mirror of karma, all virtuous and unvirtuous actions are rendered unmistakably clear. There is no room for denial, and King Yama delivers a fair judgment based strictly on your cause and effect. Yet at this most perilous juncture, the sutra reveals a path of salvation. If the patient's relatives or spiritual mentors can at this moment take refuge on their behalf in the Medicine Buddha, invite monastics to recite the Medicine Buddha Sutra, light 7-tiered lamps, and hand 5-colored life-prolonging banners, their spiritual consciousness can actually return to the physical body. When they awaken as if from a dream, they will have personally witnessed the indisputable reality of karmic consequences. As the commentary profoundly puts it, someone who has truly walked through the realm of death would never dare to commit bad deeds again. Even if someone held a knife to their neck, they would rather lose their physical body than create negative karma again. A physical body dies only once, but suffering in the hell realms is an endless torment. Part I and the 4 core principles of extending life. Hearing this, Venerable Nanda asked Bodhisattva Deliverance on behalf of all beings, how exactly should we reverently make offerings to the Medicine Buddha and construct these life-prolonging banners and lamps? Bodhisattva Deliverance provided precise and rigorous instructions, summarized into 4 core practices. Upholding precepts, strict observance. Method: observe the 8 precepts for 7 days and 7 nights. Key insight: practice must strictly follow the teachings without compromise. One cannot keep the precepts by day and slack off by night. Practice is like assembling a computer. If a vital component is missing, the entire system fails to run. Making offerings. Method: prepare food, drink, and daily necessities to offer to the Sangha. Key insight: within your capacity means offering with total sincerity. Whether you have 100美元 or 100美元, 000 at your disposal, dedicating what you sincerely can is true offering. Prostrations and recitation uninterrupted light. Method: perform prostrations and offerings to the Medicine Buddha 6 times throughout the day and night. Recite the Medicine Buddha Sutra 49 times, light 49 lamps, craft 7 images of the Medicine Buddha, placing 7 will-sized lamps before each image, keeping the light burning continuously for 49 days. Releasing lives and crafting banners, untying knots to dispel disasters. Method: make 5-colored banners 49小时 and spans in length and release 49 different species of living beings. Merit: completing these practices enables one to overcome dire crises and remain unharassed by untimely mishaps or malicious spirits. Part II, turning calamity into blessing. Bodhisattva Deliverance noted that this method does not merely save individuals, it can save entire nations. When a country faces major crises, such as plagues, foreign invasions, internal rebellions, or severe weather anomalies, If a nation's leader cultivates deep compassion toward all beings, grants amnesties, and makes offerings to the medicine Buddha according to these teachings, the nation will enjoy timely weather, abundant harvests, and peace for its people. Malicious spirits will no longer harm sentient beings, and evil omens will vanish. The leader's own lifespan, vitality, and well-being will naturally increase. Likewise, within a family, if parents, spouses, or children suffer from severe illnesses or hardship, constructing 5-colored banners, maintaining lit lamps, releasing leaves, and scattering fragrant flowers will grant liberation from suffering and crisis. Part IV. Beware of the 9 untimely deaths. At this point, Venerable Nanda raised a crucial question: if a person's lifespan has come to an end, how can it be extended? Bodhisattva Deliverance clarified that many deaths are not due to an exhausted natural lifespan, but rather to untimely deaths. The Buddha detailed 9 common types of untimely death. Illness without care or false belief. The first, untimely death, dying from a minor illness due to lack of medical care or wrong prescription, or seeking help from deceptive spirits, sorcerers, and animal sacrifices instead of proper medicine, inadvertently plunging into hell, execution by law, violating state laws and being executed, indulgence in loss of essence, excessive hunting, allowing non-human spirits to drain one's vital essence, perishing in fire, dying in conflagrations, drowning, dying in floods or waters, falling from cliffs, falling off precipices or mountains, poisons and curses, being harmed by poisons, black magic or demonic incantations, starvation and thirst, dying from severe deprivation of food and water. Bodhisattva Deliverance emphasized that building banners, lighting lamps, and accumulating merit allows us to live out our natural lifespan without enduring untimely suffering, ensuring we complete our full natural life safely and peacefully. Part V. The Sacred Vow of the 12 Yeshe Generals. At Bodhisattva Deliverance finished speaking, a deeply moving scene unfolded in the assembly. The 12 great Yeshe Generals, along with their Qi, Ling attendants each, collectively proclaimed to the Buddha, "Today, through the Buddha's majestic power, we have heard the name of the medicine Buddha and no longer fear falling into the evil realms. From this moment on, we pledge to take refuge in the Three Jewel for the rest of our lives, taking upon ourselves the duty to protect all sentient beings and bring them peace and joy. Wherever the Sutra is circulated, or wherever people hold the medicine Buddha's name and make offerings, we and our retinues will personally guard them, liberating them from all suffering and fulfilling all their wholesome wishes." They also provided a highly accessible method for seeking help if anyone suffers from illness or hardship. They can recite the sutra and tie knots in a 5-colored thread corresponding to the names of the 12 Yeshe Generals, untying the knots once their prayers are fulfilled. Conclusion: the core essence and spiritual advice. To close this episode, let us look at the 3 names the Buddha bestowed upon this teaching when Nandi asked how it should be named and remembered. The original vows and merits of medicine master Lapis Lazuli Light Tathagata. The binding vow mantras of the 12 divine generals to benefit sentient beings. The eradication of all karmic obstacles. Please pay special attention to that third title, the eradication of all karmic obstacles. As the master reminded us at the end of the commentary, when practicing other traditions such as the Pure Conduct chapter in the Avadamsaka Sutra, we rely on planting good seeds moment by moment, gradually cultivating the 6 paramitas: generosity, precept keeping, patience, diligence, meditation, and wisdom through our own strength. The extraordinary power of the medicine Buddha practice lies here. Even if you currently lack the causes, capabilities, or strength to resolve your karmic obstacles and suffering, the medicine Buddha directly empowers you through the immense force of his original vows and merit. It is like being directly gifted a state-of-the-art operating system when your own hardware is failing. As long as we hold firm faith in the Buddha's words, practice faithfully, and uphold his name and sutra, we will swiftly receive the blessings of the Buddha, Bodhisattvas, and 12 Yeshe Generals, uprooting all karmic obstacles and achieving a pure, fulfilled life. That brings us to the end of today's episode on deathbed deliverance and life-extending practices from the Medicine Buddha Sutra. I hope this content brings you a deep sense of peace, protection, and spiritual confidence. Until next time, take care. Namo Amitabha.